Speaking of Lucy, there she is, laying right there on the front deck, saying, "Y'all can't get me. I'm in my hidey hole up here." She gets on the other deck also, but she gets on this one and nobody bothers her, not even her babies. Milburn came up on the deck, but we haven't seen Milburn in a little while. Hopefully see him. We've been kind of concerned about him. But there's Lucy laying there in the rain, light rain, very light rain. But a cold rain and a north wind supposed to blow 35 miles an hour this afternoon when another front hits. So Lucy will be getting on this deck out of the wind, or maybe even in the boat building where she was when she was a baby. Isn't she pretty? That tongue hanging out. Because her nose is broken because she was caught by a coyote or a bobcat as a baby and somehow escaped. Lucky Lucy. There is Sherry, my daughter, and her husband, Jack. And we brought home we brought home several bags of carrots after church today. And Jack was carrying the carrots. And what happened was the deer smelled the carrots in the bag and corralled Jack. And so now Jack is feed. Look at little Ranger. Look at little Forrest there, our Ranger. Look at Ranger burr up there to the. He wants those carrots, but look at him burr up. Look at his ears. Look at his ears go forward. He's the little one there. He wants that carrot, but boy, he's wanting. Look at Sherry's dog Bella gets right in the middle of them. They don't pay any attention. But now Ranger, he's a little cautious of that dog. Oh, now look at Nina. Look at Nina. She's pawing at Bella. Did you see that? She's pawing at Bella. That's one of the problems, though, that you have is that they've been around the dogs, and they almost have to have an encounter with a coyote to learn that the coyote's bad. And that encounter can be deadly, of course. But isn't that precious right there? And Jack is fed almost a full bag to those 5 deer. And he's got half a bag, and he's gonna quit. And they're gonna follow him up to the porch, just like little puppy dogs. That is pretty special. Whoa, there's a big guy. There's a big guy that's come around. I can get steady here. I get to shaking when I see a big deer like that. He's a beauty. And here's his girlfriend that he's after right there, that tag deer. That tag right there. Watch him, he's gonna go after her. There he goes. And he's a nice, beautiful 8 or 10 point. Maybe a 9. And that's not the tag right there. Another tag that's gone in front. And I'm about to run out of area. And Lucy, she's fluffed up, laying on the front deck in hiding. Pretty tag right there, too. Okay. There they are. I was explaining that the deer, that tag deer is from Iowa. They come in, we bring them in, and it's all totally legal. They have all the papers to go through the agriculture department. And CWC tested, EDHD tested. They're all perfectly healthy, beautiful does. When they breed with the Oklahoma bucks, you provide an offspring that is just incredible bucks. And over the next few years, the genetics are going to improve greatly here. It's an expensive process, but it's well worth it to help the genetics of a deer herd. Very much like what we do, putting F1 fish in the lake. And we also, of course, have deer that are with Iowa bucks and Iowa does, and those are really the pure ones. But the doe carries the big genetics also. So that's going to be a great deal right there. Those two mate, and they are pretty close to doing so, I believe. They're really got their courtship is well in hand. And he should produce some great, great babies. I hope. There comes another boy up for my Lucy, who is laying right here on the front deck now, just watching. That's a pretty boy right there. He's an 8 point with long brow tines. He's beautiful. He's just exactly what you want. He is a perfect 4x4. Everything's perfect. He's a young deer, 2 years old, 2.5. So he's going to be a dandy. You give that deer 2 or 3 more years, and he's going to be something special to look at. And he's probably, I don't know, he's looking at Lucy. Lucy is laying here right on the deck. There's Lucy right there. I got this iPhone zoomed out, all it'll go. I don't know if the new 12s will zoom out more than 6. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. But this is great. He's coming up here. He's looking at Lucy. See him looking over here? He's saying, ooh, pretty girl. But he's also a guy. So he's also at the feeder eating. That's what guys do. You know, it's really interesting to watch them. I've been hunting a lot this year and watching the deer do all their things out there and how they chase and chase and chase. And all of a sudden, the guys will just stop and eat. I'm telling you, just stop and eat. I know you're getting drunk with this camera moving around, but when you have it out there on extend and you're holding it, guys, it could be doing like that. So, you know, it could be doing like that. So, feel good that you got that right there. That's as good as I can do. Could probably do a lot better 20 or 30 years ago. That's as good as I can do with an iPhone zoomed out all the way. But isn't that a pretty rascal? Isn't he a pretty rascal? There by my Texas Hunter feeder. We go through lots of feed here. Golly. That's pretty. I don't care. I don't care who you are. And you notice they feel so secure and safe. You cannot drive my truck. You cannot drive my truck.
Lucy has a mighty handsome visitor this morning. She didn't seem to be too impressed, though. She took off the other way.
Hi, guys.
Well, this little girl here, named Miss Nina, she is in trouble.
She's been gone.
She has been gone for 2 days. And the last time, well, she might have been in, no, it wasn't yesterday morning, but she's been gone for a couple of days. And so she is in trouble. Miss Nina, you need to show up here a little bit more regularly.
She's still chewing on that one carrot.
Oh, she eats pretty graceful compared to the others anyway. But, Lucy, you better get down there. They're having carrots down there. You better get down there on the ground. They're having carrots down there. Yeah, Nina's kind of like when your kids are not necessarily missing, but you don't know where they are, and when you finally see them, you're so glad to see them, but you're still mad at them for being missing. That's the way we are with Dinah, huh? So we're glad she's here, but she's still in trouble. I think she's been running with the wrong crowd. That'll get you in trouble every time.
Ranger says, I'll come around here and to the side.
You have to point it.
She acts like, I don't know, maybe because they're cold, they're just out of the icebox.
Yeah, I took them out of the refrigerator.
It might be why she's taking them a little gingerly.
She eats a little slower than the others anyway.
Big girl. Although Jenny's just about as big as Lucy.
I can still crunch them pretty good, though.
Trying to pick that one up off the ground.
Where you been, Nina? Where you been? Talk to me. Talk to me. Where you been? Where you been? What about you? What about you, Forrest? You haven't been anywhere very far from the food, have you? He says, I'm smarter than she is. He says, I stay here where the food is. And that pretty boy, he's been hanging around, but it's been Nina. She's been our problem child all along, and she's not changing her ways.
Okay, guys, it's a half a sack.
So you can come back and get more later. And Nina, you stay close. Something gets you.
There's 3 on the ground. Y'all need to pick them up. I'll let you have one more, Nina, if you'll take it. Come on, Nina.
Jenny says, I'll take it.
All right, Jenny. Okay.
Well, it's getting late in the evening, and I'm here by myself right now, but I'm going to attempt to go out and give my little family a couple of bowls of food. It makes you wish, it's so cold, it makes you wish that you could feed them a hot pot of soup or something, but I know that they don't, I don't guess they eat hot stuff. But anyway, I gave them a few extra carrots. I went to the grocery store today, or I called in an order to pick up, and I messed up and forgot to get grapes. So I guess that I will have to make another trip into town tomorrow to get grapes, because we can't go 2 or 3 days without having grapes, I'm sure. I got carrots and didn't get the grapes. So anyway, I'm going to go out and feed the little critters and see what happens. I went ahead and fixed 2 bowls so they could spread out a little bit. It's good to see Miss Nina back. I had not mentioned much on video about her being missing. Didn't want to alarm everyone. But she showed back up today. So we have them all here. And she's in trouble. She's going to need to straighten up a little bit. She's running with the wrong crowd. They keep her out too late. So anyway, like I said, I forgot to get grapes. So all they've got for a special treat in their bowl tonight is carrots. Of course, that suits them just fine. They love those carrots. Over here we've got Forrest and Jenny and Ranger, pretty Ranger. He's the prettiest deer of all. Here's old Ranger with the pretty sweet face. Yes, he is. I think he knows that he's pretty handsome. And then over here we've got Nina. She's been kind of cuddling up with Mama today after she'd been gone. I think she was in trouble with Lucy too. But anyway, I wanted to get them fed before dark. So it's really been cold today. So they're kind of fluffy looking. And they were ready to eat. I'm sure they'll be back for more in a little bit. But we're glad they're all here for a change. You can see Ranger's little nubbins are getting taller all the time. Isn't he a pretty thing? I'm going to try to maybe show a video, and it might be offensive to some of you if I can get it to air, which will explain a little bit about how Lucy got her injuries and wound up with a tongue that hangs out all the time. But anyway, I'm not sure that I'll get it up this week, but I do have a video to show you sometime in the future. This is what we wake up to most mornings. It's Miss Lucy looking in the window at us. And the rest of the family. Lucy, she's messing with the doorknob trying to get in. And I caught her red-handed. We found our rain gauge vase broken the other day, and I just found Lucy pushing around on it. So she's the guilty party, which we had already figured out she was. But she's sort of saying, "Get up, it's time to eat." Of course, on the other side of the house is the rest of her family saying it's time to eat. She's all fluffed out. It's cold. But I think it's supposed to warm up a little bit today. Bless her heart. Since her tongue sticks out, she drools all the time, so it leaves probably some icicles on her little whiskers. I don't know. She does just fine. Good morning, guys. Here's Forrest and Jenny, and they're ready for something to eat. They're not even picky about what it is. They just want something to eat. And there's my other two babies. There's Ranger and Nina. Nina's being a good girl. She's here this morning. She says, "I'm here. Give me something to eat." Okay. We'll have some deer food right now. We'll have some South Fresh deer food. And then a little later, we'll have a bowl of Cheerios with some carrots. We gotta get some grapes. I messed up, guys, and forgot your grapes yesterday. So I will have to make a trip to town to get some grapes. I'm sorry. And if we can't have Cheerios and grapes, we'll just crunch on some deer food. Come on, Nana, you better eat too. Come on, you better eat. Yeah, you better eat. She says, "I want some of the good stuff. I want some of the Cheerios and the grapes and the carrots." You better have some deer food. It's got the good stuff in it for you. You better have some. Guess I better go give Lucy a little food. Looks like Lucy heard the feeding frenzy going on over here on this side and decided to come on around. So she's not having her private breakfast this morning because she was too impatient to wait. So I guess we'll go ahead and add some Cheerios to the bowls out here. Looks like that's what they're all wanting. And I just happen to have some carrots. Looks like Lucy has another pretty handsome visitor this morning. This guy we kind of know by name. His name is Whitey because his antlers are so white. He came calling, but Lucy said, "Nope, I'm going to go get on the front porch." And she took off. So, and Whitey needs to leave my little girls alone. He'll be getting in trouble. He needs to go find him some older girls. But he's shopping. Looks like he's going to move on, maybe. He might want to go fishing, I don't know. He says, "What is that out there anyway?" looks like the visiting buck decided to go get a drink, and here's my little family kind of wandering back toward the house. They're going to join Mama on the porch probably. Forrest decided he'd come over here. He heard me talking. He thought, well, there might be some food involved. And Lucy hears me talking, and she just came off the porch. You better stay on the porch, Lucy. Yeah, you better stay on the porch. And Beamer, she says, well, what about me? I need some attention too. Yeah, Beamer needs some attention. She's got a couple of labs visiting this weekend. Larry and Betty Sissel are here, and they have a couple of labs that Beamer tolerates. She's just kind of a dog that likes us all to herself, so but she does pretty good. It looks like this Whitey is still wandering around down here. Looks like he may head back up the hill. Run, Lucy, run. Little Ranger says, Mama, we better go get on the porch. Yeah, let's go get on the porch, Mama. Silly little dear. Suggested to Mama that he could still use some milk. And she said, nope, don't think so. Mr. Whitey, you better go shop in the woods. Lucy, you better go to the porch.